What is going on, everybody? Drew YGO back with another deck profile. Today we are doing Deskbots. Deskbots are a group of Earth Machine pendulum monsters. Their gimmick is that they are all different levels and that they can get themselves to pretty high attack values if there's multiple Deskbots out on the field. It's kind of also a synchro archetype in a way. They do have exactly one tuner. But altogether, still really fun, not very competitive, I guess, but if you don't care about that, then this will probably be the deck for you. We'll go ahead and get started. We are running one copy of Deskbot 009. Once returned during your main phase 1, you can make this card gain attack equal to the combined attack of all Deskbot monsters you currently control except for itself. Until the end of your opponent's turn, only this card can attack the turn this effect is activated. If this card battles, your opponent's cards and effects cannot be activated until the end of the damage step. We're only running one of these because mainly it serves as your main piece to make your Deskbot Jet, which is kind of your boss monster, but in a sense, all of these are kind of a boss monster if you're able to pull off an OTK. Next, we're running 3 copies of Deskbot 008. A lot of the, all of the Deskbots have the exact same pendulum effect where you can't pendulum summon monsters except for Deskbots. I guess because their scales are so low and high. But 008's effect is this card gains 500 attack for each Deskbot card in your graveyard. Your opponent cannot target face-up Deskbot cards with card effects except for this one. This card can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. Depending on how many Deskbots you have in the grave, you can mill them with 004. This can get up to pretty high attacks, especially if you stack it with Deskbot Base or Deskbot 003. Next, 3 copies of 007. We're running 3 copies of every Deskbot, so I'll just refrain from saying 3 copies of each time. His monster effect is this card gains 500 attack for each Deskbot card in your graveyard, and monsters your opponent controls cannot target Deskbot monsters for attacks except for this one. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. Next, we have Deskbot 006. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can target one monster on the field, change its battle position. This card gains 500 attack for each face-up Deskbot monster in your extra deck. If this card in the Pendulum Zone is destroyed, you can target a Deskbot card in your graveyard, add that target to your hand, and you can only use this effect once per turn. Next, we have Deskbot 005. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can target one spell or trap on the field, destroy it. This card gains 500 attack for each face-up Deskbot in your extra deck. If this card in the Pendulum Zone is destroyed, you can target a Deskbot monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can kind of see the gimmick here is that the numbers that are right next to each other kind of play off of each other. In that 006 and 005 gain attack for each face-up one in the extra deck, and 008 and 007, James Bond over here, they both gain attack for having cards in the graveyard. Next, we're running 3 copies of 004. If this card battles an opponent's monster during damage calc in either player's turn, you can activate this effect once per battle. Your opponent takes no battle damage for the rest of this turn. Also, send one Deskbot monster from your deck to your graveyard except for itself. And if you do, this card gains attack and defense equal to the sent monster's level times 500. Mostly you're going to want to be milling your Deskbot 9 with it, because if you do, it gains 4,500 attack, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 4,500. You could even mill your 8, which will make it gain 4,000 attack, bringing this up to 4,500 or 5,000 respectively. And also, it helps you set up your graveyard for your 8 and 7, gaining attack from Deskbots in the graveyard. So, very good card. You can also mill your 001. If you want, if you have a pendulum scale set up and you're able to pendulum summon 2 monsters, then you can have your 001 live next turn. Next, we have Deskbot 3. When this card is normal summoned, you can special summon a Deskbot from your deck, except for itself. Once per turn, you can target one Deskbot monster you control. It gains 500 attack and defense for each Deskbot card you currently control. I have gotten cards to absurd amounts just by stacking it twice. This deck really is all about stacking all of your cards together, especially Deskbot Base. allows them to get up to absurd I think I got one to 11,500. You'll see in one of the replays, but yeah, Deskbot 3 can really clutch you that OTK if you can get two or more out on the field. Next we have Ash Blossom, 3 copies. You gotta run them. 3 copies of Deskbot 2. If this card is special summoned, you can add a Deskbot card from your deck to your hand. All machine-type monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense, except for this card. Very good machine dupe target, because its effect is not once per turn. So, you can even Monster Reborn it and get its effect off again. So, you play your Deskbot 2, go into your machine dupe, because it does not gain the attack. All of your other ones do. Go ahead and pop it, you get 2 more on the field, you get 3 searches off of 1 normal summon, which is incredible. Next we have 3 copies of Deskbot 1. You've probably seen him in a lot of degenerate OTK decks, but we're running him because it's appropriate, and we're running 3 copies of every Deskbot card. It gains 500 attack and defense for each monster, or each machine monster you control. If 2 or more machine monsters are special summoned at the same time while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card. You don't know how much I would love to put Auroradon in this deck. Unfortunately, I can't anymore because it's banned in the TCG. I believe it's still legal in Master Duel, so if you want to put it in Master Duel, feel free, go ahead. But this is a TCG type beat. Next, we're running 1 copy of Heartbeast Feather Duster for obvious reasons. Back row control, you know. Then we have 3 copies of Machine Dupe. All of the Deskbots have 500 attack if they aren't being boosted in some kind of way. Deskbot 2 does not gain attack unless you make it with Deskbot base, so you really want to have your priority be using Machine Dupe first, then activating your Deskbot base if you have it in the hand, because all of your Deskbots will gain 500 attack, and you will not be able to use Machine Dupe anymore. So just be wary of that. You can even go into your urgent schedule, summoning out your 2 and another Deskbot, and then popping Machine Dupe. Next, we're running 1 copy of Terraforming to get into your field spell a little bit easier. 1 copy of Monster Reborn, just in case your 2 is in the graveyard and you want another search, or if your 1 is in the graveyard and you can't special summon 2 or more monsters this turn, you can still go into your Synchro Blaze. Next, we're running 3 copies of Urgent Schedule. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, special summon 1 level 4 or lower, or 1 level 5 or higher Earth Machine monsters from your deck in defense position, but negate their effects. You cannot declare attacks the turn you activate this card, except with machine monsters. If this set card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add a level 10 machine monster from your deck to your hand. In this deck specifically, the effect might as well be Synchro Summon any monster, right? We're running a level 1 tuner, and a wide variety of leveled monsters. So you can get your 9 and your 1, make a level 10 Baron. You can get your 8 and your 1, make a level 9 Cloud Castle. You can get your 1 and 7, make your Borreload, etc., etc., right? This is very, very versatile in the different kinds of synchro monsters that you can actually create. So Urgent Schedule, it really might as well just say Synchro Summon any monster. I guess that's not level 5 or lower, but still. Finally, we're running 3 copies of Deskbot Base. All Deskbot monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense. Once per turn, you can reveal any number of Deskbots in your hand, and then shuffle them into the deck. Then draw the same number of cards. You can banish 9 Deskbot cards with different names from your field and or graveyard, except for Deskbot Base, and shuffle all cards from your opponent's hand, field, and graveyard into the deck. Getting off that second effect might not happen that often, but we're really running it for the recycling. No, not really the recycling, but just if you don't like your hand, you can pretty much mulligan, I guess, without having to put a card back. Also, that attack and defense boost can come in handy, but that's mainly why we're running it. Now onto the extra deck, we're running 1 copy of Baron de Fleur, just a good negate. Good negate to just have in a synchro-based deck in general. 1 copy of Deskbot Jet. This is kind of a combo piece because you can destroy your own pendulum scales. Then you can special summon out your Deskbot 2. add another pendulum card to your hand, then you can pendulum summon, right? This is a great card for the archetype, I feel like, because it allows you to kind of be flexible in your plays. One copy of Cloud Castle. You might not go into this card a lot, but it's pretty useful. You can target a level 9 monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. If you have your Deskbot 9 in the graveyard, that's cool. But it does say level 8 or lower monsters cannot attack the turn they are normal or special summoned. So this is a good floodgate for your opponent. It may give you a little bit more longevity in the game. Next, we're running one copy of Borload Savage Dragon, one copy of Clearwing Synchro Dragon, one copy of F.A. Dawn Dragster for another one of those dank negates, one copy of Coral Dragon, one copy of Naturia Beast, 2 Cliffort Genius, 1 Platinum Gadget for the extra machine-type normal summon you get, 1 Crystron Halki Fibrax, just in case you want to pendulum summon more monsters and get a tuner out on the field. And then finally, we're running 1 copy of Beyond the Pendulum. I hope you guys like the deck list. I was playing around with it. It is kind of bricky, but if you can get it to pop off, it really, really pops off, as you're about to see. If you would change anything, let me know in the comments. But I hope you enjoyed. Correction, it was 15,000.